All right, good morning, everyone. I would like to call this meeting to order. At this time, I would like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional land of TD6 territory and the Métis homeland, and acknowledge the diverse Indigenous peoples whose ancestors' footsteps have marked this territory for centuries, such as Cree, Dene, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Negoreska, as well as Métis and Inuit, now settlers from around the world. We will do a roll call of council colleagues. Councillor Wright.
Good morning.
Councillor Knack.
Good morning.
Councillor Principe.
Good morning.
Councillor Stevenson.
Good morning.
Councillor Paquette.
Good morning.
Councillor Tang.
Good morning.
Councillor Hamilton.
Good morning.
Councillor Rutherford.
Hello.
Councillor Salvador.
Good morning.
Councillor Cartmel.
Good morning.
Councillor Rice.
Good morning.
And Councillor Jans.
Good morning.
All right, all of us are here. Okay, before we get into the agenda, I will ask all members of council present if they have any pecuniary or conflict of interest to declare regarding any of the items to be discussed. A pecuniary interest exists when an item could monetarily affect a member of council, their employer, or family member. A conflict of interest exists when an item could affect a private interest of a member of council, their employer, or family member. Do any members of council have any pecuniary conflict or interest to declare? I see none. With that, we'll go to the adoption of the agenda. Councillor Hamilton.
Thank you. I will move that the September 19, 2025 special city council meeting agenda be adopted with the following changes. The addition of item 4.1, bylaw 21286, which is the event park item attachment 3, item 4.2, bylaw 21287, which is the Village at Ice District site servicing item, that's also attachment 3, and item 5.1, ratification of the appointment of the Chief of Police 2025, which is a private item.
Thank you.
Second.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Councillor Rice. Please vote.
Yes.
I'm a yes, Madam Clerk.
Thanks, Councillor Rutherford. Yes. Thanks, Councillor Wright. Thanks, Councillor Jans. We have all the votes.
Display the votes, please. That is carried. Any protocol items? See none. Select items for debate. I will select 5.1. Are there other selections? Bylaws.
May I? Oh, no, I can't. Can I select it? Yes, I will select 4.1 and 4.2 for voting purposes.
Okay, they are being selected only for voting purposes, right? Okay, just want to understand. Okay, all right. So 4.1, 4.2, and 5.1 are both all items are selected. There's nothing to vote on that has not been selected. There are no requests to speak. There is a request to be if we will be able to deal with bylaws very quickly, we don't have to make 5.1 first item, because then the administration can leave, then we can deal with the 5.1. Okay, all right, don't have to do that. No votes on bylaws not selected for debate. We don't have any. Public reports, none. Bylaws, 4.1 and 5.2. Okay, Councillor Cartmel, you want to move both?
Yes. Good morning, Mayor Sohi. I will move second reading of bylaw 21286 and bylaw 21287.
Second.
Okay. All right, please vote.
No.
Thanks, Councillor Rutherford. We have all the votes. We have all the votes.
Display the votes, please. That is carried 9-4. I do have a subsequent related to this, but I'll make it after we have done with our deal with our in-camera meeting. So with that, can someone move?
Third reading.
Oh, sorry, go, please. Yeah, we want to do that work, okay. No, of course you would want us to do that, Michael. Okay, okay, Councilor Cardinal, go ahead.
I will move third and final reading of bylaw 21286 and bylaw 21287.
Second.
Please vote for the final reading.
No.
There is no consideration here. You can't deny that consideration today.
Thank
Can't
you,
have that
Councillor
pleasure.
Rutherford. We have all the votes?
Okay,
We have all the votes?
display the votes. That is carried. Okay, can someone move that we go in camp?
Do you
So
want to deal
moved.
with the subsequent? If you have it, we have it loaded.
It is very easy.
Then
you know.
happy to,
Okay,
if
can,
it's the will of
I'll
council.
cede the chair.
I have the chair. And I'm sorry, I was distracted from a G-chat. Did you want to make the
Yeah,
motion then?
we're just loading it.
Okay.
We're just putting it up on the screen. Would you like me to put it in the chat, Mayor Sohi?
Screen is good.
Screen is good.
Okay. All right, here it is, that administration be directed to continue working with the Premier and the Government of Alberta to pursue opportunities for second phase of funding to support Edmonton's downtown investment and revitalization initiatives, and report back to Council on progress and next steps as appropriate.
Second?
Okay. Just quickly introduction, after Council directed me to have a conversation with the Premier, that conversation was very productive, and there's a collective desire to continue to work together to invest in the city of Edmonton from the province of Alberta. And this motion kind of formalizes that and directs the administration, and then we don't lose track of the conversation that we had prior to the election. So going into next, after the election, new council can follow up on those conversation, and administration in the meantime will carry on those conversation at the administrative level. So this kind of creates an formalized way of something to come back to council, future council for consideration on those conversations. That's it.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Seeing none. Anyone to speak? Mayor Sohi, anything further?
Nothing more to add.
Okay, thank you. Then let's vote. And I'm a yes.
Thanks,
Yes.
Councillor Wright. Thanks, Councillor Rutherford. We have all the votes?
Display the votes, please. And that is carried unanimously. Thank you.
And I'll take the chair back. Can someone move that we go in camera, please?
So moved. Second?
Please vote.
I'm a yes,
Yes.
Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councillor Rutherford. Thank you, Councillor Wright. That was Rice.
Thank you so much. So Eddie, there'll be closing remarks from council after we have done with 5-1, right, on the
Sir, but just
the election.
just a live vote.
Just, so you may want to come back. Okay, please vote. Display the vote.
Sorry, I'm still waiting for councillors to vote.
Oh, please vote.
We have all the votes.
Display the votes, please. That is carried. We'll give you a couple of minutes to clear the room and lock the doors.
I joke. Thank you.
Okay, we are back in public. Councillor Wright, can you take the chair, please?
I have the chair.
I think they have some things they have to do.
Not till noon. Okay, I will move. We are ready, right?
Confirming we are ready, we're live.
Okay, I will move that the attachment 6 be added to the September 19, 2025 Edmonton Police Commission report EXT 03215. Part 2, that the Edmonton Police Commission recommendation for the next Chief of Police as set out in attachment 6 of the September 19, 2025 Edmonton Police Commission report EXT 03215 under the terms of employment recommended by the Edmonton Police Commission as outlined in the September 19, 2025 Edmonton Police Commission report EXT 03215 be ratified, that the name of the appointee to the office of the Chief of Police remain private until the appointment is announced by the Edmonton Police Commission pursuant to Section 34, information that is or will be available to the public of Access to Information Act, and that the September 19th, 2025 Edmonton Police Commission report EXT 03215 remain private pursuant to Section 20, disclosure harmful to personal privacy, and 29, advice from official of the Access to Information Act.
Second.
Thank you very much for that. Would you like to introduce?
I think more will be said a little later on, but just want to thank the Commission for bringing forward our recommendation, and we want to thank them for all the hard work that they have done, and the consultant and the recruitment folks, that the effort they put into it, and the engagement that they did with various stakeholders. So with that, that's it.
All right, I will assume there's no questions and take that as your close as well?
It is my close.
All right,
Yeah.
then. Go ahead and let's vote, please.
We have all the votes.
Display the votes, please. And that is carried unanimously.
Okay, thank you. There is a tradition that on the last council meeting of the term, that council members are given the opportunity to reflect on their time and say things that they wish they would want to say, and we're going to do that now. It's been like this is a tradition that I have seen since I've been into these chambers during my council time. It's really an opportunity for us to reflect on our council term, on our last council meeting. Okay. We'll open for colleagues to share your thoughts. Who would like? Councillor Wright, go ahead.
All right, so this is a unique tradition. I think this is wonderful to have the opportunity to speak. Where do I start? Okay, I've always considered myself to be a lifelong learner. And so I appreciate the opportunity to learn as much as I have in the past 4 years. Oh my gosh. My first learning was that municipal government was not political. That's different. We all had the opportunity to learn with the number of reports that came to council, some of them of our own doing, because we all wanted information. We needed to make the right decision based on that information, so we kept asking for it. And thank you, administration, you kept delivering to us. I want to thank our administration, our executive leadership team, our clerk's office. I feel like I'm at the Emmys. I want to thank my colleagues. But I also want to thank our staff. Whether unionized or out of scope or our contract workers, I don't know where Paul is here today. He's usually downstairs greeting us as we come into the parkade in the morning, always with a smile and a wave and a good morning, councillor. I also want to thank my staff who've also provided the support throughout these 4 years. Getting back to learning, the complexity of this organization has, I've learned so much about that, how many people it takes to bring the programs and services to Edmontonians and to our surrounding community that we serve. I've also learned about the complexity of having to manage both public life and private life. So appreciate the support of my family, extended family members as well, and my new family, my colleagues. Thank you. I've also learned so much from the community, from organizations that care about this community as much as we do. Whether we come at it from the right, the left, or right down the middle, I think we all want the best for our community. We all want the best for our family, our friends, and for our future. And with that future, we have our City Hall School, who is helping to shape that future. And I think it's always been a welcome addition when we have those kids in. Last night, while I was out walking in one of the neighborhoods, I had a young boy and his friends come up to me, and he was all excited to tell me that he was coming to City Hall School in February with his class from Jackson Heights. And I think it's an opportunity for them to learn about everything that we've learned about in the past 4 years. I still have a minute left. Oh my goodness. So with that, I also want to thank those other councillors, aldermen, alderwomen, who came before us and represented me. Betty Hughes, Sheila McKay, Dave Thiel, and a much younger Amarjeet Sohi. So thank you for setting that example for us, to show what it is just to care about this community. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you so much, Councillor Wright. Want to go this? Councillor Principe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll go next because I don't want to go after Councillor Knack because I don't want to cry. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone, as it's going to sound a lot like Councillor Wright's, but I also truly appreciate everyone who was working in Ward Tustin-Winawak alongside me. I truly could not have done it without you. I owe you so much. Also to my friends up front in the office, you've always been, an ear for me, so I appreciate it. I know there are many of you here who have been always so kind to me and helpful, and for that I truly appreciate it. I'll never forget you. And okay, And also, I just wanted to say that it was almost 4 years ago that I took an oath on the Bible out on those steps out front there that I would always make decisions that were in the best interest of Edmonton and all Edmontonians. And I'm proud to say that that is exactly what I have done. And I'm very proud. I appreciate the and I'm honored still that I was elected to represent the people living in Ward Testawinawak here on Treaty 6 territory. And it's been an honor that, and I'll never forget, and thank you to my family for always supporting me. And I wish everyone the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Principe. Councillor Nick. No, it's up to, no, not out of my, I mean, if, I'm the oldest, I guess. Just kidding. Who wants to go next? Who wants to go next? Who wants to? I know. You want to? Councillor Tang.
Well, dear colleagues, city administration, and most of all, Edmontonians, it has been one of the great honors of my life serving Ward Gatineau and the city on this council. I have never been as fulfilled personally and professionally as I have been over these past 4 years. It is a rare privilege in life to find a role where you can simultaneously do the work you love while having an immense impact in the communities around you. I moved to Edmonton in 2012. I became a Canadian citizen in 2015. I first ran for city council in 2017 because I hold as a truth this beautiful line I read about Edmonton when I first moved here. If you want to live in a great city, move to Montreal or Vancouver. But if you want to build a great city, move to Edmonton. And what I love most about this role is that I get to build a great city and community alongside with neighbors, friends, with those Edmontonians I don't always agree with, and most importantly, with thousands of new Edmontonians moving here every year in search of that same journey to greatness that attracted me here in 2012. I'd like to share a little bit about why I first decided to run for city council 8 years ago. I'm a community builder. Edmonton would be a better place for us to live if community building is a priority for city council. I want to help ensure that happens. The key to successful community building is treating everyone in the community as an equal partner. And why I find my role so fulfilling is because I have been able to live out this ideal for the past 4 years. One of the things that I am most proud of this term is the community-based budgeting program that my office have done with residents across the ward, engaging people in identifying the projects that matter to them to improve their communities. And people in the communities of Ward Gatineau have implemented dozens of projects on their own, from planting new trees to mapping miles of the bike network. And many people have told me that the project revealed to them how the city government isn't just this nebulous cloud hanging over people, but are humans behind which they can connect with and work together. And I found my role so fulfilling because I am able to help constituents solve meaningful problems in their own neighborhoods, problems that have immediate positive impact on their daily quality of life, like calming traffic around schools or removing windrows from their streets. I found my role so fulfilling because I get to experience a day in the life of everyday Edmontonians and work with them to make tough choices about how we grow. Some of my fondest memories are spending a day collecting garbage alongside our waste collectors, standing in front of a school with residents to observe how neighborhood renewal affects morning pickup traffic patterns for kids and families, riding along with firefighters to understand a day in the life of emergency responders, or picking fresh vegetables from the community garden for the low-income families nearby, or going out to fill potholes with our city workers. The many neighborhood volunteers running their leagues or working on different projects have become more than partners. They're friends I work alongside to build a community we want for ourselves in Ward Gatineau. I found my role so fulfilling because I work with colleagues, with constituents, and city administration to make tough choices for the city, to ensure we continue to live up to our potential as a city, as a people, as a community that welcomes new arrivals with open arms, like I was treated. The next city council will have momentum decisions to make, just like the council before them, this council, and the council after them. I ask all those who aspire to serve on this council to remember that we're all Edmontonians. We all want to live in a great city, and we have to work together to make that happen. Thank you, Edmonton, and thank you, Ward Hill, for giving me this opportunity to serve our city. And I hope to have the honor of serving you again. Thank you.
Thank you. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Okay, Councillor Paquette.
Yeah. I would love to spend more time to perfect this, but as ever, you get the imperfect version of me. I want to take a moment to acknowledge what it means to serve together. No council is perfect, and no city ever stops wrestling with changes and challenges. But what defines us is not the difficulty of the work, and it has been difficult. It's the fact that day after day, we showed up for Edmonton. We debated, we disagreed, we compromised, and we decided. And through it all, we shared the same purpose: to leave this city stronger than we found it. To administration and staff, including my office staff and the wonderful people who serve the office of the city councilors, I want to thank you for your dedication. Often the work you do is invisible to the public, but it's essential in keeping a city of more than 1 million people moving forward. And your families, I want to thank them as well. Not many will ever know how many hours away from loved ones this work demands. And to the rest of city staff, from the front line to the middle management, to everyone who comes in every day to serve your neighbors. You do an important work. The experience that Edmontonians have in their city is truly their experience of being an Albertan and their experience of being a Canadian. And you make that happen. To media, I thank you for your long suffering. And for your professionalism and your service to the public. You also have kept these many long hours and poured through reports and 20-minute answers to 10-second questions. Thank you as well to our partners in city building, nonprofits, small mom and pop businesses, big corporations, small corporations, other orders of government, and the organizations that we talk to and walk with together to make a better today and a better future for all the youth who grew up here. To my family, no one will ever know what you have given up for love of me, for one another, and for the people you will never meet, but have hoped and prayed and supported me in the hopes that I could do the job for them that you have always had faith that I could do. I could not have asked for more, and my heart could not be more full. To my colleagues, Thank you for your passion, your persistence, your sacrifice, and your commitment to this great city of Edmonton. We haven't always agreed, but we've always cared, and that matters more than anything. And a word about that. This is serious work, and the stakes can sometimes feel incredibly high. This can lead to strong emotions, and the battles can be intense. But that same passion also brings us together once the dust is settled. That passion for service and for giving everything you've got to make life just a little better for folks, or to hold back the incredible forces that threaten to make life more challenging for the people we serve. They will not know the icebergs we steered away from, but you will. And most importantly, to the people of Edmonton, thank you for trusting us with this responsibility. Every decision we've made has been with you at the center. You are the reason we are here, and you are the reason this city will continue to thrive long after this council has adjourned for the last time. Your struggles, your hopes and fears, your strength and goodness make this city a community of communities, and your well-being, I can confidently say, is the obsession of everyone here. You entrust us with these responsibilities, and may we ever work to be found worthy of that trust. And Mr. Mayor, thank you to you. You have taken on the slings and arrows that sometimes this council more rightly deserves. But that is the role of a mayor, and you have fulfilled it well. And I'm going to go over time. I'm not going to let you stop me.
I'm sorry.
So let's close this chapter, Mr. Mayor, with gratitude.
Thank you.
And open the next with resolve. Edmonton is strong, resilient, and full of promise. And together, we've added our piece to that story. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Paquette. Okay. Councillor Stevenson, you want to go next? Okay.
Yes, thank you. As with many things this term, sometimes you don't feel fully ready for them, but they are what is in front of you, and you step up to do them. So it's hard to believe that 4 years have gone by already. I often think back to our swearing-in day. I have a picture of my daughter and me sitting in this very chair. She was only 18 months old at the time. Today, exactly today, she's 5.5. So just like with our kids, you don't always notice the day-to-day changes that happen. But when you look back, you see just how far you've come. That's how I feel about our city and the journey we've all taken together over the past 4 years. I think it's important to reflect back on when we came into office. We were still deep into the pandemic. If you all remember, we had plexiglass barriers between us. We had Zoom calls with kids running around behind us while schools and daycares were closed. We didn't even meet in these chambers for much of early 2022. It was a turbulent start, and things didn't let up. The first 2 years, for me, felt like we were constantly going from crisis to crisis. We faced exceptional challenges as an organization. Transit was struggling, downtown was empty. We came closer to job action than we had been in years. We faced near unprecedented inflation and global supply chain disruptions. And we faced an attack in this very building. And the challenges we grappled with weren't confined to these walls. We grieved unimaginable losses in our community as well. The deaths of Constables Travis Jordan and Brett Ryan, the devastating fires at Hangar 11 and Zocolos, and the daily grind that residents and businesses alike experienced with vandalism, thefts, and not feeling safe or connected in their communities. And while we still have challenges ahead of us, and we look ahead to an even brighter future, I think it's so important to look back at how far we've come. Because step by step, day by day, we have moved forward together. We've made progress, even amid these challenges. We rebuilt our transit ridership. It's not only recovered, but exceeded pre-pandemic numbers. I went from not feeling comfortable taking my daughter on the train to traveling with her downtown on the LRT twice a day for over a year and a half. Downtown is reviving. There are more residents, more businesses, and our festivals grow each and every year. We took bold steps with the zoning bylaw to provide more homes in existing neighborhoods, added new residential units downtown with even more to come. We've improved ETS service hours and kept recreation centers and libraries affordable and open longer. We invested in tackling problem properties and seeing huge success from that approach. We've continued on our path to reconciliation with tangible actions like housing grants and MOUs, and in supporting the voices of our elders who have guided us with their wisdom and generosity. We all owe a huge debt of gratitude to City of Edmonton staff. We make decisions in this room, but none of it would come to life without your actions. This is the part I didn't get exactly right. We have spent hours and hours and hours together, and I'm so grateful for the wisdom you've shared. I'm so thankful for your willingness to entertain long conversations that I think have helped us get to much better places. You have faced your most diverse council ever, and that is a challenge for staff. But I just greatly admire how you've been able to hear our voice, our collective voice, even when it's been disparate. So none of the progress we have made would have been possible without the Edmontonians that spoke up, pushed us, challenged us, and ultimately made us better. 4 years ago, we faced uncertainty, hardship, and fear. And today I see resilience, growth, and a city that keeps moving forward. Edmonton's best days are still ahead of us, and I'm so grateful and proud to have helped lay the foundation for thriving years ahead. I leave hopeful and optimistic for what's to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. Okay. Councillor Rice, please go ahead.
I will try not to cry. Like many of you, I feel those past 4 years have gone by quickly. Together, we have agreed, and we have disagreed. And through it all, we have done our best. For me, it has been guided by the voice of my constituents and by the realities of working together within this council as a whole. This has not been an easy term. We have faced difficult budgets, challenging debates, and decisions that will shape our city for decades. The responsibility we carry has been heavy, and because behind every decision are thousands of families, businesses, and individuals who feel the impact what we do here. For me, my focus has never wavered. I was elected to represent the people of my ward. accountable to Edmontonians, and I have carried their voice with me into this chamber every single day. That means listening closely to residents, respond to their concerns, and standing firm when I believe their needs or interests were being overlooked. Whether it was speaking out on financial restraint and pushing for safe and livable communities, or ensure the city delivers on the core services and people count on every day, I have tried to be clear and consistent, even if I stood in the minority. I never lost sight of who I was here to represent, or of the principles that guide my decision. This is something I will carry forward with pride. To each of my colleagues, I want to say this. Well, we may not have always agreed. We shared the responsibility of governing a growing and diverse city, and during one of most challenging periods and in recent memory. I respect the commitment it has taken and for each of us to show up the scrutiny we would face and the weight of the choices before us. As we move forward, I sincerely and wish all of you the best, and both in your personal lives and in your careers. Whatever path you take from here, I hope you find meaning and fulfillment. I also wish to sincerely thank the entirety of our city's administration, including both current and previous employees, for their dedication, hard work, and public service over those past 4 years. As for me, I thank my family. I thank all the people who put trust on me and for this opportunity to serve for you and work for you for past 4 years. I leave this chamber as I entered it. Determined, consistent, and committed to the people who entrusted me with their voice. That commitment has been my anchor through the past 4 years, and it will remain my guidance and in whatever comes next. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Rice. Okay, I don't have the screen for the list if there's any colleagues on the.
Yeah, there's nobody
Okay.
on the board. But I can put the list back.
Councillor Cartmel.
Wow, so heavy. So I measure these things in occasions, whether they're public occasions or private occasions, and so just reflecting back on 8 years, I will not be back in this specific chair after this. This is the last day, and it's somewhat melancholy for sure. When I came to this work, I had two mentors, Patricia McKenzie and Brian Anderson, and they've both since passed. Brian used to talk about the joy of effort. You do something simply because of what you get out of it, and that always meant a lot to me. I did a lot of sports as a kid, did a lot of volunteer work as an adult, and the payback was just what you got out of it. You weren't looking for a particular thing, and I always took that to heart. Patricia McKenzie would phone me up and say, "We're having coffee on Saturday morning. You'll be here at this time," and then I would get told exactly what to do and how to do it and where to go. She was awesome. She passed very suddenly, and I know our community misses her. And I remembered something very early on that Don said to me, Don Iveson said to me, he said, you know, these are not our offices. We just happen to be in them right now. And that was kind of something that I was saying in that first campaign, was that this is not my office. This is not my chair. This is ours. What are we going to do with it? How are we going to leverage it? This is our opportunity to have our voice at City Hall. And I'd like to think that we did some pretty good stuff for Southwest Edmonton. And I was aided in that by 3 people. Hannah Marinkovic was on our first campaign, and she came, and she was my assistant for 3 years. Kirsten joined me about a year after that first election and remains here. And we hired Elizabeth during COVID. I didn't actually meet Elizabeth face to face until about 9 months after she started in our office. And my first thought was, my God, you're short. because on the screen, everybody is, you know, about 5'11", right, and fills the screen. I didn't know what people were talking about when they said Hollywood Squares. And then I sat here and I kind of looked up and it's like, oh, now I get it. Yeah, Hollywood. Where's Paul Lind? That's an old joke person that only Aaron gets. So those 3 people that have steadfastly served the people of Southwest Edmonton, you know, day and night, lots of challenging emails and phone calls, lots of really rewarding ones. 3 marriages and 2 kids with those lovely people. It's really cool. When I first started here, I still had 2 kids in high school. Now I've got 3 university grads. I've lost a father-in-law. I've gained a daughter-in-law. There's been some weird stuff too. Knee surgery, cancer surgery, COVID. And once again, I remember sitting right where Aaron was sitting and looking at Dawn. You might remember this too, Aileen, because we declared a state of emergency, which essentially said admin's in charge and council isn't, among other things. And it was Friday the 13th, and I looked at Dawn, like I'm looking at Emergent now, and it was kind of like, what have we just done? Like, this is unprecedented. Where are we headed? What is, and we thought it was like 6 weeks, right? Like it was, you know, the virus would be gone and we'd be back, and it wasn't. It was wild. Hannah and I stood in the corridor right by Ashley's office, and the lights were all on. We were the last ones to leave. It was like right out of The Shining, right? Like there's papers on the floor. I'll never forget that. And then the bookends. So I can't look at Sarah, because the bookends were a backyard election party in the summer of 2017, where I first met Sarah. And that led to a friendship that had its ups and downs, for sure. I remember a profoundly remarkable, romantic wedding in a castle in a city surrounded by a moat. That was really cool. I remember 4 years ago holding a young fellow while he napped on my chest in Sarah's office, and now that kid is class president of his play school. And these are sort of the markers in time, right? Like this is you know, other people have talked about the decisions and the politics and that, but it's those things fade. They fade like old photographs. It's the memories that you take with you. And that little journey included going to Alberta Munis about 3 weeks after the first election, and I can't say any more than that, but there was bonds that were struck that were remarkable. Through it all, I've been supported by my family and my wife, and I've always said that when this chaos ends, and it's just us, and we're sitting on a beach, and there's sand between the toes, that it was going to be her and I. And at the end of it all, it's going to be her and I. And regardless of what this next chapter is, we've had chapters in our life together, and she has been steadfast in her support of me. And that gives me great comfort. I worry for nothing. I'm cared for, I'm loved, I'm supported, and nothing else matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Cardinal. Okay. All right, who wants to go next? No. No. Councillor Rutherford? Go ahead.
So I didn't actually write anything because when this email came in and said, you know, you can talk for 5 minutes, I was like, how do you sum up this 4 years into 5 minutes? And I've been struggling with it to this moment. And so I actually just decided last night that I was just going to let my heart guide my words in the moment, as opposed to preparing something. And, you know, one of the things that I keep reflecting on and I keep circling back is a lot of people asked me throughout my term if this job was what I expected. And I said to them, yes, I expected it to be hard, and it delivered in spades. Absolutely one of the hardest jobs I've ever stepped into. And I think to the fact that I wouldn't have been here without support from my family. My kids have sacrificed their mom so much in the last 4 years, and even, I'm going to say the last 5 years, because they didn't see me during the campaign in 2021. I think sometimes it's so easy for Edmontonians to see all of us in these roles as tropes, as politicians. And we're people, we're humans with loved ones, that every single one, I have no doubt in my mind, and I say this to people all the time, that whether I agree with my colleagues or not, I know every single one of them put their name forward and came into this role because they cared about Edmonton, they want to make it a better place, and they want to make it better for the people that follow behind them. And, you know, I've been so humbled to work alongside this group of colleagues. I didn't know many of you at all. I was kind of the new kid on the block. I worked in surrounding municipalities. I hadn't really been as integrated into the, you know, the political network of Edmonton. But I've learned so much from each and every one of you, and you know, I've learned from Joanne to be really, really focused on what matters, and to use that knowledge to guide your decision making. You are one of the strongest people I know in terms of having a conviction and then sticking with it. I learned from Andrew about memory lane. But no, seriously, the humility that you showed up with every day is something that I continually use and remind myself. So I'm inspired by that. Karen has shown me and taught me kindness. Again and again, I don't think there's a kinder person, a person with a kinder heart on council. And I've been so honored to have the coffees with Karen and Aaron's and to work together for the North Side. And one of the most passionate people that I've ever met. And you can try to convince her that maybe something's not a good idea, but if she knows it's a good idea, she finds the path forward. And I've learned so much about when, because sometimes I'm like, is this a hill to die on? Probably not. But Anne has always showed me that there is a path if you really believe in it. Aaron has always taught me to be clear with my words. To be clear with my words. I've always dreaded speaking after Aaron at every council meeting or committee meeting because he is so eloquent and so thoughtful. And if I could be just as half as eloquent and thoughtful as you are, I will aspire to that. Thank you, Aaron, for teaching me that. Counselor Karen is one of the most thoughtful people. She really digs into and thinks about everything she does, and she does it with community at the heart and center of it, and that's what's inspired me. Sarah, who's laughing and crying beside me, is always somebody that I've heeded her voice. She thinks deeply, but she speaks only when it's necessary and when she has real value to contribute. And I think that's unique in a politician, and it's unique in Sarah, and something that I've truly thought about. And at first I probably spoke on the mic a lot, and it was actually Sarah that's inspired me to say, when do I actually need to speak and when do I need to just sit back and listen and vote? So thank you, Sarah. I'm probably over time, but I really want to do this. I'm so sorry. I don't know what the time is. Ashley is one of the youngest council members, but one of the brightest council members. And if I was half as put together as Ashley was in the time that she's been on council, man, I would be unstoppable now. So I can't wait to see what Ashley does going forward, because I honestly can't think of anybody that has so much thought and care and humanity at such a young age. And it's truly inspiring. And I often talk about you to my daughter, actually, because I think that she's somebody that I really want her to look up to you. She obviously looks up to me, of course, I'm her mom, but she does, absolutely, because I want her to be like you when she's in her 20s. Tim, you have always inspired me to think about my own actions and have called me on things, and we've had tough conversations, and I have never shied away from tough conversations like I know you haven't. And I want you to know that I've taken all of those to heart. And I think if you look at my past, I've evolved over the 4 years. But I absolutely appreciate how candid you are, how honest you are, and how you can do it in a way that brings humor and lightness, so you can teach people without necessarily hurting people. So thank you. Jennifer, I've been truly inspired by your ability to do this really tough job. I said this job is hard for me, and you do this with English not being your first language, and with the resilience that I've rarely see. So I really am inspired by your continued resilience. And Michael has showed me that you can where to push, and he's you also have driven me crazy over this term in so many ways, but you absolutely have inspired me to push further, to challenge the status quo, and to not be afraid to be bold. So thank you. And Amarjeet, lastly, I skipped you to go last. I think that you have been the leader that Edmonton needed in this time of turbulence and challenge, and you have shown up with compassion. You've engaged folks in the municipal government that would have never engaged before in this process, and you have taught me so much that I don't even know where to begin. But I think that you are going to be deeply missed by Edmonton, and you will be remembered for the way that you steered this ship in a very tumultuous time. Thank you. And I'm so sorry I went over. I don't know what time I took. Apologize.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Councillor Knack, you want to go? Councillor Knack?
Thanks, Mayor. So I was kept debating trying to write things and could never do it. So I'll just cry through this whole thing anyway. So I'll just start by thanking my colleagues. I remember when I started this term, I thought, oh, great, like, I'm going to be the teacher. I'm going to be the, quote-unquote elder statesperson. Because we were in this weird thing that happened that suddenly 8 new people came in. And I've said this a few times, but need to say it one more time. Like, I've learned more from this group in my first year than I did my first eight years. Because of your knowledge, your lived experience, your dedication, and your passion. It's inspiring. I was just so appreciative of getting to learn as much as I have. After thinking I was going to be the teacher, I wanted to go through each, sort of like Aaron just did, but I can't. But I wanted to specifically say to Amarjeet, I remember when I first got elected. I was 29, working retail in West Edmonton Mall, and somehow got elected. Knocked on a lot of doors, but somehow got here and didn't really know much. Similar to Aaron, I was like, I didn't really know anyone in my community league in the West End, but like I didn't know the system. So I felt I had a lot to prove, and I remember sort of looking early on, trying to watch all the counselors and sort of figure out, like, okay, I gotta prove that I belong here, so I got to be the hardest worker. It was very quickly that I discovered Amarjeet was the hardest worker by a mile. He was at every community event, always willing to hear from anyone and everyone, and wanted to. And it served as an inspiration for me to try to just constantly be working, to engaging, to listening, to learning. I never actually surpassed his work ethic. The only reason I felt I had a chance to be the hardest worker is because he had left in 2015. That was great. So I thought maybe I got it at that point. Then he came back, and I was like, well, there goes that again. So thank you, Amarjeet, for showing us what dedication to community looks like. Not just everyone there, but like to all the other folks, the 66 or so watching on YouTube from probably just different city offices. Thank you. You take the occasional chaos, the most of the time thoughtfulness, the heatedness of our debates, and you take all of that and you put it into action every day. From the folks who are actually out there on the streets doing the work and implementing what it is, to the folks who try to create that. It's wonderful to get to learn from you all. I just love having your expertise and your guidance, and it means the world. And I specifically just want to thank our clerk's office too, because I don't know how you do everything that keeps this organized and looks so thoughtful. And love reading the minutes. No matter what happens, I'm going to read minutes all the time. But the work you've done over the years to try to help make sure we know how to govern is so greatly appreciated. I want to thank the team that I work with in the ward office, and I can't name them for reasons because we're in the middle of a thing that's happening. Yeah, whatever that thing is. But because one of them is part of the thing. So I can't start listing out all the names, but I just know that I've had a great joy over the years. They've worked incredibly hard to be the first point of contact, the friendly voice. They're the ones who get the people when they're angry, and then I'm the one that calls them back and they're nice. But they're always the ones that have to deal with the heat. They're never mean to me, they're always mean to them first. And so they work tirelessly each and every day, and I've had great fortune of working with some incredible people that I wish I could talk about in more detail, but that's for another day. Media doesn't. I'm glad there's like a camera and like one person. Like, I hope the media's listening. Like, they do work incredibly hard. Similar to what Aaron said, I remember when I started, there were 6 to 8 dedicated reporters who would sit there every single meeting from start to finish and get to watch everything we did. Sad that that doesn't exist anymore. That's a whole other conversation we could have. But I know they still work incredibly hard, and I always say that our local media is just so we're fortunate to have them because they work tirelessly, especially now in such challenging environments, to be able to deliver. Thanks to my family, of course, because they allow me to do what I do. They're the biggest supporters and cheerleaders, and I can't keep, a lot there. My final thanks is just to Edmontonians. This has been the greatest privilege and honor of my life. To be able to do this for 12 years, it's just, I can't believe it. It's been a joy. I tell people, they always ask, what is it like, and like, how do you feel about it? And I say, in 12 years, there are occasionally bad moments, but there's never been a bad day after 12 years. I get to finish every day so thankful and appreciative that I've had this opportunity. So I just want to say thank you to the people that gave me this chance. It's the most inspiring city. Just full of just incredible people who, as I learn, I find this job way easier than the work that Edmontonians are doing every day, the people who are volunteering their time, the people who are running their businesses, who are doing these community groups and are putting in that time day in and day out, and are always so welcoming, and are always so inviting, and are always just so loving. And this is an incredible place to be. And just fortunate to have been able to be one tiny little part of this in a world of just incredible people. So I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Knack. Okay. Councillor Salvador, go ahead.
Well, I'm not ready. I appreciate the opportunity to reflect on the past 4 years. This has by far been the most dynamic, challenging, and rewarding and complex role that I've ever had the privilege of serving in. I, of course, feel a deep attachment to and love for our city and the people who call it home. And serving in this role has only amplified that. I've been thinking a lot about Edmonton's spirit and what it means to call this place home. I've been thinking about answering the question, why Edmonton? Why do people come back? Why do people choose this city again and again? And a big part of my answer has always been, and continues to be, that this is a city of opportunity. I've always maintained that we are a city of builders and doers who are united by a desire to build a better future for the ones who come after us. It's a special city where you can have big, bold ideas and find others who are equally as passionate and ready to step up and build alongside you. And it's that value of unbridled determination and courage that made 26-year-old Ashley think that it was even within the realm of possibility to step up and serve my city in this capacity. This role has provided me with an incredibly unique vantage point to witness our city from, and I've witnessed the enduring fortitude and commitment of Edmontonians to navigate deeply challenging times. As others have shared, I think back to the early days of our term and the compounding challenges we experienced as a city, the pandemic, inflation crisis, social challenges, and the economic consequences that followed, and we have endured. I've witnessed a collective belief that what we build today can shape a better tomorrow. And as Edmontonians, we see opportunity where others see obstacles. And we're able to turn that hope into action that moves us forward together to a better place. And that's the kind of spirit that I've tried to bring to my work every day. Despite the challenges that we've experienced over the last few years, from City Hall to Community League halls, I've seen firsthand that every single day people across this organization and across the city are putting in the work, quietly building to make things better for their neighbors, their colleagues, their friends, families, and those future generations, the folks who are going to come after us. When things get tough, this city really does dig in. That's the Edmonton way. I want to take some time to thank all the city staff for their deep commitment to public service. You keep this city moving forward every single day. I'm grateful for every city staff member that I've had the privilege of working with. And I wish more Edmontonians got to see just how passionate and devoted and united we all are in trying to build an Edmonton where everyone has an opportunity to succeed. We grow stronger every day thanks to the industriousness, integrity, and progress that you all embody. And we've seen that showing up in very real ways. Despite those challenges that I've mentioned, we've led the nation in transit recovery and housing starts and a population boom. We've restored and provided a roadmap to deliver the city services people rely on daily as we continue to grow. And this hasn't been an accident. These have been the fruits of your labor. To my colleagues, it's been a privilege to serve alongside you. I've learned so much from each and every one of you and continue to be inspired by your commitment to service and your willingness to show up daily and advocate for our communities. I also want to thank Mayor Sohi for his guidance and leadership, for holding the pain and suffering of our city during these tumultuous times, and doing so with grace and compassion and composure. You've shown all of us how to make every voice in this city heard, including those who have never had a voice here in City Hall. I want to thank my office staff for all of the work that they do to serve our communities. It's been an honor to work alongside you. I just want to end by thanking Edmontonians and the people that I serve every day for the work they do to make this place possible. Some of the most rewarding moments that I've experienced over the last 4 years have been working directly with community members in our neighborhoods to overcome real and tangible challenges in our communities. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve you, and I'm grateful every day that I've had the opportunity to sit in this chair. And maybe I'll end on this, something that I'm constantly reminded of. Cities don't run on cynicism. They're built by believers who show up and put in the work day after day because they can envision a better future. And that's the work we're collectively doing. That's the work of City Council. This is an exercise in stewardship. It's been an honor to contribute to and build upon the work led by generations of dreamers and doers and builders and believers that have come before me. And finally, I just want to thank my family for their support over the last 4 years. This role comes with great sacrifice, and it's our families who feel that in a very real way. I also want to say a very special hi to my grandma, who may hold the record, actually, for the most council and committee meetings watched on YouTube. I always have phenomenal conversations when I go over to visit because she is up on absolutely every item that we discuss around this table. So I haven't actually said hi to her. So hi, Grandma. Thank you so much for your support and your love and encouragement up to this point. So I'll end there. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Hi, Ashley's grandma from all of us. Thank you so much. Gonna set my clock. Well, 4 years ago, we made it our priority to build an Edmonton for all of us. A city full of joy, opportunity, and hope. A city that is affordable, city where we all belong. Our first collective motion was to build an anti-racist city. Every day since then, all of us have worked to keep that promise. And together, this council has made bold investments in truth and reconciliation, walking forward as treaty people. I want to thank my council colleagues for always putting Edmontonians first, for believing in what our city can be. We have led this city through a pandemic recovery. The changes we made together weren't just about policy, they were about people. And it has been my honor, and I'm so grateful that I got to serve with each and every one of you. It has been such a phenomenal 4 years. To our city administration and city clerk, your work has been the foundation of everything we have achieved. You deserve our deep respect and appreciation for your dedication to this work and your dedication to this city. I'm so proud that we're working together. We have invested back into our employees with fair wages and resources that you need to serve Edmontonians. We recognize your work and we stand with you and by you. Together, I hope we have built a better life for Edmontonians. We built more affordable homes in the last 4 years, including Indigenous-led housing. We grew our economy. 13% growth in new business starts in 2023. We refocused back on our industrial growth, investing in arts, culture, climate action, and downtown recovery. We protected and improved core municipal services, keeping libraries open on Sundays, extending outdoor pool hours, adding close to 200,000 new service hours for public transit, and making on-demand transit service permanent. We improved snow and ice removal with higher standards that respond to neighbors' needs. We secured a consistent police funding formula to ensure and enhance community safety. We doubled the number of transit peace officers and created 8 teams of social workers to improve transit safety and connect vulnerable people to services. We created crisis diversion teams to connect vulnerable people to services as well. And I'm proud that we are finally, and I want to thank Councillor Hamilton and Councillor Knack and many others on this, for finally moving forward on Lewis Farm Rec Center. The newly rehabilitated Harlick Park will open this year. That's an investment we're making in people. We work closely with both Premier Kenny and Premier Smith to seek equity for Edmonton. Our shelter capacity has climbed to 1,700 beds from 700. Homeward Trust has its funding bumped up by $13 million. We received provincial funding to hire 50 new police officers to improve transit safety. And the province has finally stepped up to pay its fair share of property taxes on the buildings that they have in our city. And our advocacy secured $187 million in new downtown investment to build more homes and bring more people to downtown. Edmonton has become a destination city. 200,000 more neighbors in 4 years because of affordable housing, good quality city services, city with opportunities, more equitable and welcoming place. I also want to thank my staff. You have worked tirelessly these past 4 years, making so much my work easy and the changes possible. You have challenged me to be better. You have embraced the vision of community inclusion, creativity that make our city strong. I'm deeply grateful for your work and for your dedication. And to Edmontonians, serving as your mayor has been a great honor. This city welcomed me 40 years ago, invested in me, lifted me up, my family, and I've grown and built our lives here. Today, I leave this chamber filled with gratitude for your trust and your inspiration every single day. And finally, to my family, particularly to my wife Sarbjeet and our daughter Sirat. It has been a difficult time for our family over the last couple of months. We had 2 deaths in our family. But we stood together ever since we've been married. And Sarbjeet has been by my side for everything that we have done. As Councillor Cartmel, you reflected on your relationship with your partner. We would not be able to do the work that we do here each and every day without the support of our families. And I'm so lucky and grateful that I have Sarbjeet side by side in every moment, and our daughter side by side. Last 4 years, obviously it's been a tough time for the city, but every day it has also been a joy to serve. So with that, thank you so much, and each and every one of you. It has been just a great honor of my life that over the last 4 years, we got to work together. We have the opportunity to work together. Thank you.
And I'll return the chair.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't even. No, nothing. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. We'll stand for each other. We'll stand up for each other. And to administration. Yeah. And to clerk. And to media as well. Jasmine, to you. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that concludes our last meeting. Motions pending. We don't have any.
I've actually got a couple of, no, I'm just kidding.
And we are adjourned at 11:50. Thank you.
Thank you.